super excited today because we have some very, very, very special guests. I know that y'all probably hear me say that every week, but this is really the truth. We have some very special guests here today, all the way from Statesboro, Georgia. We have a man 5-star here. Represent 5-star.
Man, I'm from Statesboro, Georgia. Really from Middle Georgia. You know, moved Statesboro, my age, so you know what I'm saying.
And then we have Cali here, all the way from Statesboro. Represent, brother.
What's up, man? Originally from California, Palm Springs, California, 442. You know, Statesboro, Georgia. I'm putting on the front sign, but yeah, I get right. I'm ready to get right.
And then I have my man over here, all the way to Cali's left here, Mister. Now this guy here, me and him been hanging out all day. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Yo, what's up? My name is Baby Quan 43. You already know what it is. I'm from North Carolina, Ohio State.
Baby Corn 43. This is my little Denzel Washington, young Denzel Washington here.
That's
what he goes by the name of Baby Corn 43.
Shout out to Fiji, man. I'll keep it Fiji water.
And to my left is my co-host, super music producer, Kyng AshBel. Represent Ash.
What's up, man? I don't need no introduction.
So look, man, we've been vibing all day with these young men here, and I've been just kind of just chilling, man. I'm very impressed with these young men with the ability to create something from nothing and come up with these lyrics. And I put them on the spot earlier, had them to give me some freestyle work, man, and was just dissecting their lyrics, man. I gotta tell you, these guys are very intelligent. The lyrics are off the chain, man, and I'm so glad to be able to bring these guys together. You got people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different platforms, and I think the ages are from 16 all the way up to 26. So it's a different, just different dynamic, man, and we're gonna do things a little bit different today. I got my co-host here, Kyng AshBel, because this is his field, and he has. I'm gonna tell y'all a story before we get started. This is my buddy here, man. I told a story earlier in the week about how I was so impressed by the ability to be in the presence of this guy. Now he has been in my world for 3 or 4 years, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. I finally had a chance to get in his world, man, and I was telling y'all earlier in the week that we was having a conversation, and this man turned our conversation into a track. And that right there blew my mind, because I know people have their way of being able to interpret what people say and things like that. Like I said, if you are an artist, you might see words in color, you know what I mean? But for him to take that conversation and turn it into a song, it blew my mind. So I very am honored for him to be on our show today, and I'm going to let him kind of chop it up with the youngsters here in the music industry and the music field, and we just gonna vibe like that, man, and see, you know what I'm saying, what we can come up with on that, brother. So
Alright, man. What's going on, brothers? We spoke earlier, man. Nice to have y'all here. I know he already did the introductions and all that, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start off with the meat of the meal. So what separates y'all from every other rapper in the industry?
I feel like me, personally, I'm gonna be myself. I'm not gonna go on the song trying to be like this person. I'm not gonna go on the song trying to sound like this person. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sound how I sound, so a lot of people try to copy everybody else, try to be like this person, like look up to these people. I'm gonna be me. That's why I feel like make me different. Like I'm gonna represent me in any way. Like you can think of how you wanna think about it, but I'm still just gonna do me on this song and all that. So that's my opinion. That's how I look at it. Like I'm different.
I mean, I'm big on like just being yourself. I mean, I always been like different from the past. You know what I'm saying? Just me, like how I carry myself. You know, I know I was different, but like I never let that get to me. You know, the outsiders. You know, people gonna talk. People gonna say what they gonna say, but like just growing up, you know, high school really, really getting that feeling of like separating yourself, like see what you really want to be. You know what I'm saying? So ever since I've always been like different, but stayed in my lane the same way. You feel me? So my music, my sound, I feel like just my background. You know, I I know it kind of like cliche, been through a lot, but like, I done experienced a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And I went through a lot, just, growing up single parent home, stuff like that, But I just like got a story to tell you, I don't want people to hear my story and that I just want to make an art out of it, you know what I'm saying? So people can like really like enjoy it, just not just like hearing it like, oh man, like concrete. I want people to enjoy it. So different type of, tapping into different type of genre. I just don't actually just do rap, do other stuff like R&B, singing, all that stuff. I just want to show people my creativity outside of, making art, But yeah, that's what I'm gonna show people with my song, my music.
Well, I can say, look, I look for for like in life, like say that he said, I grew up in a single parent home, but the thing about it, I want to see my dad, but sometimes I just rap about my pain and how I feel about certain things, or I just don't talk to nobody. Like truly, I stay to myself, but I think more about me, my music, and my passion, and what I want to be in life and where I want to go. You see what I'm saying? So that's it.
So for those that are looking on, I don't know if y'all can see, there's a brother over here. We just everybody in the room is gonna get some shine. We're not gonna call him out here in the open, but we just want y'all to know there's a brother who's over here showing support. I don't even know if I'm looking at a camera, but there's a brother over here. For those of y'all, there's a brother showing support. So just know that they have support, and I think that's a huge ordeal.
Security right there.
That's
Hey,
a
shout out
huge.
to all my boys though.
Oh yeah, we got Elan Tyler.
Yeah.
We got G Hunter.
Yeah.
My boy Ryan Hendricks.
Yeah.
We got
Duffy.
oh yeah, we got
Issa,
my boy Tug, my boy Vio,
Famzy.
we got a whole bunch of people.
Yeah,
Everybody. We got Muffhead. That's one of our homies too. She out.
Facts.
A lot of us. We really like.
There's a lot of people
got
behind
our
us,
own
you know
little
what I'm
clique.
saying? Not just for us. Yeah, everybody on this way with us. We just got to, keep it rolling.
Now I will say this: never forget the people that birthed you.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
But y'all would never don't forget that. There you go. Y'all single parent homes, and y'all like, yo, shout out to Rob, shout out to Butler. Where's mama?
Yeah.
Where's mama? Like, hey, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
All right, so let's say y'all make it to the industry.
Yeah.
Let's say y'all tomorrow. Let's say, matter of fact, let's say 3 years from now, y'all make it to the industry. Boom, y'all here. So, what's something about the industry y'all would want to change? Oh, that's deep, huh?
Change. I don't want it to change at all. I want to keep it how it is. You know what I'm saying? Because like the people out there now, if you being yourself, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to change. Just like just be you, do your thing. Get what you need to get. Get the chicken. If you need a chicken, get your chicken. If you need the fame, get the fame. Whatever you want to do what you got to do. But don't try to step on anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to throw no dirt on here and do this.
Yeah.
Come in the industry, do you? Because that's how I'm approaching the game. I'm approaching it like that. And I feel like for my peers, the rap game, I want the same energy in return.
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I don't know what is change. Like, people do their own thing. I look at how he said, like, I'm in the industry. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm saying my own lane. You know what I'm saying? If I meet people, I meet people. If I don't meet people, I don't meet people. But I don't know really what it is. Change. Be how you is. That's what I say. Okay. Say how you is. Just don't be acting funny. I don't get in the industry acting funny. Yeah, that's the worst thing to do.
Well, I would say be yourself. The more you be yourself, the more attention you get, and the more people will help you. The more I would say, like, some people be disrespectful to people that you trying to help, but at the same time, you got to stop that sometimes. But if they did something wrong to you or to hurt you, or saying you can't do nothing, do this, and do everything, just be you. Just roll with it.
So let me ask you a question, because I know y'all are still like fresh into this, and I know Kyng AshBel, he knows this already. But are you prepared for the grind that it might take to get to a deal? Because they say an overnight success takes how long? 5 to 10 years for overnight success.
Yeah.
So by the time you hear that demo on the radio, or that's on the radio, they already been saying that song 10 years already. Do you have the stamina to make it to the record deal, and when you make it to the record deal or make it to where you call success, do you understand the game that you're getting into?
Most definitely. I've been having a deep talk about that. That's a lot. Recently been thinking about like, am I really going like? I know I'm gonna go like right away, or you know, I might not. But I was thinking like, am I really gonna put in the time? Like I know it might take years. I told him I'm ready. Like I'm ready. I'm going grind. Like I said, I feel like there's too many signs that are gonna show me like you gotta keep grinding because this is gonna help you out eventually. It's gonna lift your weight. So I feel like I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the years, nights time. Like we really like it's people where we from that do the music stuff like producers and stuff. But we willing to take this time and go out of town 3 hours away almost every week and put in time and pay our money to grind for this. So I feel like we is ready to, you know, no matter how long this gonna take.
I feel like God give the tough to balance to a strong soldiers. I mean, you find what I'm saying, like I said before, the challenges I went through in my life, I really like not trying to, you know, be anything. This right here is like easy to me. You find what I'm saying? Writing around in my room, you know, go to a recording and stuff like that. I feel like this is the easy part to me. I mean, the success gonna come with you. If you put in the work, the good success gonna come with it. So I feel like this ain't nothing to me, to be honest. But like the challenges, I done been through challenges and stuff like that. I feel like if there's another chance in front of me, I'm gonna face it. I'm gonna go through it to get to what I really want to get to and accomplish what I need to accomplish. Yeah, I'm willing to do all that. Willing to, you know, fight, sacrifice. You know, I've been sacrificed a lot. You find what I'm saying? To keep going. For me and others around me. You find my family, my brothers, everything around me. So yeah, I'm ready to put in that ground, put in the time and all that.
Same for me. I'm ready to put in the work and try to get a record deal. But I really want to talk to my mom about it first to see how she feels. Because she still got real openly, so I could really get to see her and see what she think about it.
Yeah, like I ain't in the wrestling with you. I know that's. I probably rather go independent, depending on how the deal talking about. Feel me? That's what I'm really looking at.
It's like
Record deals sound nice, but sometimes there's a lot of messed up record deals out there. So if I can say independent and make my money, I'll do that. Like record deal comes with a good opportunity, I'm gonna take it.
right now, for me, I'm looking for a good producer that could like get one good song. You know, just let people know how I feel. Just like one good pain song, so she like can really understand like what I'm going through and how hard life is for me. Like that's what I'm looking for.
So y'all mentioned on 2 questions, be yourself. For those that don't know you, I'm sure you got your lives tapped in, but for everybody else may not know you. So tell us, like, who is you? Who is you? And you can start off with where your names came from, your artist name, 5 Star, Sally, my bad, Cali, and Baby Quan, 40, my bad, brother. Yeah, so y'all can start off with just telling us where they came from, real name.
I got the name Baby Quan 43. I just gave myself that name, so I just really come off the head with it.
Okay.
So I thought it was a really good name for me.
That one of your gamer tag, isn't it? Oh, okay.
Nah,
so I didn't see you on Fortnite.
but I just thought about it. I said it might be a good name for me, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of stuff that I want to do in life, but at the same time, the reason why I got that name, my mama and my auntie couldn't get my name right, so they always call me Baby Quan. And especially my uncles, because they all been drunk and stuff like that. It whatever. But shout out to my auntie that died, and she really motivated me for this right here. Like I really miss her, wish she was still here to see this. But she gone, so she in a better place. As long as I know she good, I'm sure.
Oh, me, Cali, you know, it's straight. I feel like it's straightforward, but I'm originally from California.
Okay.
Palm Springs, California. I stayed over there for like 4 or 5 years. You know, my brother from Compton, Inglewood, not too much like Compton really the main city, like Compton, California. My sister was born in San Diego. You know, my mom and my dad had, you know, had that little thing going on, so we part ways. So, you know, when I came back over there, you know, I really wasn't big on nicknames. You know, my name like Rob and stuff like that, but I really wasn't big on nicknames. So like, but we need a name for it. So we used to go out now to these little parties and stuff like that. My boy named shout out to Devin, aka Soft, he like you can't be going out here giving your real name, cause that's damn fit you for real, for real. You gotta come up with your name and all that. I said, you can't be, I said, alright, he said, what you gonna go with? I said, Cali. So I said, you gonna roll with that then? I said, yeah. So I started rolling with Cali. So me, talking to girls, stuff like that, I was like, Cali. And it started coming, it started sticking, stuff like that. And now, that's my name, Cali, that's where I'm from, so yeah, that's how I got my name.
My birthday is in May, and that's like, that's the 5th month. So like 5 and number 22, that's like them big numbers to me, that's my birthday. So, and I look at myself like, I'm a star, I'm going to be a star. I've been playing sports, everybody used to tell me, oh, you going to be a star, bro, you going to be good, bro, you going to make it. Don't forget about that, blah, blah. So like, and I picture like 5 stars, like the best, the best rating. I feel like I'm the 5-star version of me, so that's where 5-star come from. Like, I'm a 5-star guy, so I name myself 5-star. So I get mine.
And see, that's the thing. Like a lot of people, if you would have broke down, they would have just assumed it was gang related, or they would have assumed it was something associated with your melanin.
Yeah.
But it has a deeper. That's why it's good to announce that. So it's good that y'all gave that. Yeah. There's a deeper understanding of how you think. So I don't know if you. I'm talking a lot, man. I'm asking a lot. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's cool, man. This is a different vibe. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna explain mine. Being the Lion's Pride and everything, the Lion's Den. Most people think that the lions you see, they think that represent me being a Leo. I'm not a Leo. Not a Leo at all. I was named after Daniel and Lion's Den, which is in the Bible, and that's basically where the lions come into play. I've been to the Lion's Den. I've seen where, and the Lion's Den is a psychological place, but it's also a physical place where someone tried to put you in a place, and if you read the story of Daniel and Lion's Den, they purposely didn't feed the lions so that when they put him in there, the lions would eat him up. But what happened was when he got into the lion's den, he had faith in God, and God turned the lion's intentions from harming Daniel to being Daniel's protector. So when you come into the lion's den, the lions here are protectors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So me being Daniel in the lion's den, I just went with the whole lion's den persona. And everything you see is based on being in the lion's den and the lion's pride. So, and the pride came from, because the lion, the male lion is African animal. They know the lion as being the king of the jungle. Lions are they are social creatures, and they like to create prides. And a pride is a group of lions that they run a particular region of land.
Yeah.
And this is where the pride comes from. All these young men here, I started my mentorship program 3 years ago, and Kyng AshBel was unofficially one of my first guys that came to the program, and I just had to extend it from the den being more intimate out to the pride, which is like the community, things like that. So that's kind of where my whole lion persona comes from. It's like I say, it's always good to have a story so you know what you're representing, and then it's all about the brand. Kyng AshBel, you see what he got around his neck, right?
Yeah.
You see what he got on his arm, right? That's him building his brand. So every time you hear the word king or you see the word king, you automatically think of Kyng AshBel. And so when you're doing your thing, you're promoting, you're advertising, you want to get people to recognizing your brand, recognizing you as your brand. So when people hear the word Cali, they should think about you. If they hear the word California, they should think about you being from California.
I feel like I'm moving in that direction.
Well, you have to, you know what I mean? And that's why you see so many lions in here. When you leave and you see a lion, you're gonna always think about the lion's pride because of those lions. And that's something that I learned, a long time ago when it comes down to branding. Matter of fact, Michael Jackson was talking about why he wear those glitter socks. He said that he wanted the people to focus on his feet when he was dancing. So he wore those socks because that's a
Yeah, that's
magnet to your eyes.
Yeah, that's
And when you see Michael Jackson dancing, you automatically look at what? Look at his feet. And so those socks are known all over the world. You see those glitter socks, you think about Michael Jackson. Anytime somebody spins, you think about, oh yeah. So it's just, a little branding technique that you want to try to subliminally put this in people's head and mind and all that kind of stuff. So where did your name come from?
So my birth name, that name in Hebrew is AshBel. So my birth name is Jediah. And I wasn't big on nicknames. Street nomenclatures is what you want to make it sound cool. Instead of saying a nickname, say this is my street nomenclature. That's what I'm saying. And also, instead of thinking about branding as if it's brand, think of it as brain.
Yeah.
Instead of saying this is my brand, this is my brain. Because like I told you earlier, art is an extension of self. So there's anything you put inside this, as an artist, you're going to dissect it. That's the way your body works. You're going to dissect it, empty out the parts that you don't need, but you're going to keep the nutrients and vitamins. So if you don't feed yourself, it don't have to be a book. It can be other sources of knowledge. But if you don't feed yourself, your brain will lack. So you have to continue to feed yourself because that's exactly what everybody else is looking. They're looking to consume from you.
Right.
They're not looking to eat with you necessarily. They're looking to consume from you. There's a lot of those types of people. So
Like leeching
they can leech, they can support, they can invest, but they're consuming something from you. Even people that you deal with, if they didn't have anything to offer you, think about how many people you wouldn't deal with. If they had nothing at all. Whether that's conversation, whether that's just their time, their quality, anything. So just think of brand as brand. But anyway, that's where my name came from.
If we,
Speak up, they can't hear you.
Oh yeah, from that. I might have to bring it closer. No. I might have to bring it.
So, Kyng AshBel is very deep, when it comes down to self-preservation and being real deep on, what he reads and what he consumes, things like that.
I'm sorry about this, y'all.
No, you good. And like I was telling y'all earlier, like he was the one that pointed out to me that when you're doing art, when you're doing music, you have to watch who you listen to because you'll start sounding like the person who you favor, right? So I asked Kyng AshBel, I said, who do you listen to when you're trying to create, or who do you listen to mostly? He said, I don't listen to nobody. What kind of music you listen to? I listen to classical music. Why? Because I don't need no influence when I'm trying to create from scratch. You know what I mean? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Because if I'm a heavy Bone Thugs-n-Harmony listener, if I'm a heavy Tupac, if I'm a heavy certain, I think he had mentioned something about one of y'all sound like, you said the Baby?
Lil Baby, what you said, said Gunna, Drake, and pretty much, NBA Youngboy.
He was able to pick that up because apparently he knows that style of rap. I'm not really, deep on who sounds like who, but that's because they're one of your favorite rappers. There's nothing wrong with learning from the best. See that man on the wall right there? Emmitt Smith. He is, he got the record for the most rushing.
One of the greatest running of all time.
I wanted to learn how to play football at that position from the best, so I studied this man's game, right? Nothing wrong with studying and learning from the best, but you still have to have your own identity. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be recognized as the new Lil Baby. You know what I mean? And I think that, I remember when I was in high school, they used to call me Baby Emmett, right? And I was in high school. And my daddy took offense to that. He was like, Baby Emmett, you my son. Ain't no darn Baby Emmett. I'm like, that's a nickname, you know what I mean? So being able to separate yourself from who your favorite artist is, if you're not working on an album in particular, or if you're not actually, in the studio on a regular, then, I don't know, would you suggest they listen to other types of music?
That's my way, and it's a relationship. You build a relationship with yourself more through music. Yours is pain. That's a relationship you have with yourself. So when you pressing against music, you know what I'm saying, that's what type of hug you give them. When you hug music, it can be a soft touch, it can be a, you know what I'm saying, it can be a little bit more aggressive, you know what I'm saying? When you touch music, it's a relationship. And we don't say with a woman, because that's how we roll in it.
Right.
You know? So,
Right, yeah, facts.
We agree on something.
Lions, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so your relationship with music is going to be based on your relationship with yourself. And
Right.
if your relationship at this point is a little bit wobbly or whatever the case may be, then that's how your music is going to be. So my way of dealing with the kinks in my armor, and when it comes to music, is by listening to classical music or music that to me identifies with what I would like to become. Classical music, you had to go sit somewhere and experience that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you had to go sit and they orchestrated it. It was unity there. You had to experience classical. It wasn't now we can listen to it, but way back when you couldn't just.
Yeah.
You had to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna listen, and they was formal. You know what I'm saying? They dressed like something. So to me, that's what I would want to represent one day. I would want to represent that in hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily, I wouldn't recommend anybody do, because not every diet is for everybody.
Yeah.
Not every diet is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey.
bars, nigga.
That's all.
He just dropped some jewels right there. He just dropped some jewels.
So and whatever diet you have, man, don't start me, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Not every diet is for everybody.
Alright.
And you pause it. Not every diet is for everybody. But yeah, so in the same way I could like a vegan diet, I wouldn't recommend, you know what I'm saying? I can recommend it based on my experience and what it's done for me, but at the same time, you have to find your own way, you know what I'm saying? Because you may have a different goal in mind. So for me, that's just the way I detox.
Right.
That's my detox, is eating green.
Right.
That's my green. Your green could be something totally different, Cabinet. You know what I'm saying? Your green could be something totally different, but either or, you know what I'm saying? But either way.
I better pick him up, baby. I gotta pick him up.
But either way, man, that detox is necessary, because when you go into this mode of creativity, you don't want those blockages. And there's a lot already that could be, because it's hard to be vulnerable sometimes. It's real hard, because it's hard to articulate in a way where I'm not just directly pulling out I'm trying to be an artist with it. I'm not just trying to paint black and white. I want it to have some color. There's a lot you think about, especially if you're a perfectionist, which a lot of artists are. That chef gonna cook that meal, and they gonna look at it like, no, it's not good. You can be eating it like, yo, this is the bomb, but they looking like, no, the texture. And like, I don't care about the texture, but they know their optimal cooking. They know like, oh, this is what I can do. So sometimes you make some songs and somebody be listening to it like him, who may not be in the music industry, and look like, yo, this is good, but you like, yeah, this is alright.
That's exactly what you can ask him right here. I play some time, like, I don't even like it. What you talking about, bro? That's the hardest song you got. Like, I don't really like that, bro. Like, there's something about it.
So let me ask y'all this. Because I'm talking to them. Let me ask y'all this. If y'all had to choose one person in the industry right now to collaborate with, who would it be? That could bring out that potential that y'all know y'all got.
Give me those.
As an artist, producer, if you know the whole game, throw them out there. Who will be your starting five? If you had to work with them and say, yo, this is who's going to bring the best out of me.
I feel like one of them want to go to Young Thug. I feel like if I give him a shot, I'm going to go stupid hard. Like, I have to give it all I got. Hit on Baby, you know. Let me do it different. Let me do somebody different. Even Dub Baby. I didn't try with Dub Baby not to go hard. I know you're gonna come hard. So I gotta put my name out there. Producers, give me who is the producer? I get Yeah, Metro Boomin or somebody like that. I know I'm gonna go hard because they're a well-known producer. They're gonna let me put me in my limit, you know. That's me right there. Who you think?
I feel like top five, it'll be five. Number one is Drake, obviously. No, I feel like he's the best in the game right now. He's gonna bring the best because what you expect from Drake, like if he working with him, they're like, okay, well, let's see what we're gonna bring to you. all know what Drake gonna bring. Let's see what Kelly gonna bring. That's number one. Number two, let's tap into some R&B. I want to do Summer Walker. I want to tap into Summer Walker. I love her voice. It's beautiful, baby. You know what I'm saying? Bryson Tiller. I like Bryson Tiller music. I want to check in more like rap, R&B, melodic type sound. Another artist, he probably not doing artist, more mainly behind the computer now producing. Kanye West. I like typing Kanye. I like
old Kanye, new Kanye.
I want to type in old. I want to see if I can do type into old Kanye.
I like the old Kanye, the hungry Kanye, the
lot of
wire
people-
Kanye.
This generation don't really know about Kanye. You know what I'm saying? I want to. Now I don't want to stay alive because we moving on. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, at least like this where the sound come from. You know what I'm saying? Let's pay respect. You know what I mean? But Kanye was different, real different. A lot of people really don't know that.
So let's talk about some of your background. I'm gonna get to them because I remember you saying earlier that you're more influenced by R&B versus hip hop. Who's some of the artists that you? With some of the R&B people that you actually
Just name some.
Me, growing up, well, from my mom, that's all she played R&B. You know, that's what I grew up on. That's how I got introduced to music through R&B. Like me remembering lyrics, remembering sounds, like the way they sang on the way. Like, I just love singing. I just love it. I just know how to rap. You know what I'm saying? But like R. Kelly, despite what he got going on and all that stuff, I'm just the straight music. You know, the straight music about R. Kelly, Avant, Marion, Chris Brown. When I got introduced to Drake, like a lot of people like that. Just let me say some MJ, Mary J. Blige, Michael, all that stuff. Like I just we lock in with R&B really. So I got brought up on R&B. My dad, not my dad, my granddad, he was a DJ growing up. He found doing the DJ thing. He used to tap in, can't remember the dude name. He used to wear a diaper on the stage. Can't remember the name. Dude name. I can't remember the name. I don't remember his name. Like I can remember. It was so old. So like the way the sounds he used to play when I was growing up. He used to cut her hair. I used to listen to that. It really wasn't rap like that. Then I got into rap. You know, like I told you before, my favorite rapper growing up, number one was Eminem. I like how the way he rapped. They switched it up, stuff like that. And he was being him. He was a white kid. You know what I'm saying? In the rap game, I'm like, dang, he different. I like that. But at the same time, he established himself. When he went to Dr. Dre took him under his wing. I was like, okay, that was hard. Then after Eminem got out, okay, that was Wayne. The way people call it punchlines. The way he come in like that, you got to really think about what he's saying. Like, it was crazy on the beat. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, I don't do that. So I done got into that. Like, Lil Wayne took a kid named Drake on his wing. I like Drake. Mom introduced me to Drake as his name is Drake. J, all that. Like, not all the his stuff. Like, I'm talking about dissecting his music, the way he rap, the way he stuff like that. So the way he carries himself as an artist. Because nowadays, artists flashing all that stuff. Drake don't carry himself like that. You find Drake more chill stuff. But he's still the best in the game. This man don't do none of that. But his music, he let his music do his talking. The word do his talking. So people like him have to go to music. That's how I'm known as the best with music. This and to music. But yeah, them some people I like.
Well, the top 5 artists I would think, and it's just little 2 producers. One I wanted to put on the song with them was. And second is Rod Wave and DJ Khaled.
Why DJ Khaled? I'm just curious. You said you want to be on a song with DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a verse.
Yeah, he has he produced music and all thing he says is another. That's all he says. That's all he doing. That's all he says.
Keep going, yeah.
Well, hey, I guess that's the trend, huh? Another one.
It's like that's all he says, but at the same time,
That's all you need.
yeah, that's all I need is that motivation.
Oh no, man, you just
I hear what you're saying. Oh, he on my song saying that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, the second producer I want to work with is you.
Hey. All right, bro.
Wow.
That's
I love the song.
King AshBel got a request out of there.
that was dope, man.
So
I appreciate that. Yeah, we can make that happen. What time y'all? Cool.
Look, he already, hey,
You serious?
hey, he over here like this, like he's scratching, like he ready to get in the studio right now. Like, man, calm down.
I'm ready right now.
I am too.
So let me ask. So let me ask you. Where did your biggest? So where your biggest pain come from in your music? Like, what's the thing that you want to go deep, deep, deep to come up out of that hole on if you have to deal with it?
People, a lot of people don't even know this. Like, I don't go through a lot of stuff too, but people look at me like, you did do that. You think.
Are you the pretty boy in your?
That's what they try to hear. You know, people.
Are you yellow?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really the darkest out of my people. Like,
You the darkest of your people?
my sister and my brother.
Turn the lights off. See if we can still see him in the dark.
Hey, my sister and my brother like his color. You know what I'm saying? They real light. Cause my dad he mixed. So my mom she a brown skin woman. She, you know, he got raised so that we got it from his people and stuff like that. So, but really the pain, like, and my music, some of my songs, like I talk about how a lot of people like can be shady and like people will try to look over you or. You know, there's been times like my house now, we got robbed. People gonna rob that house. There's times it was my grandparents and all of us living together, like, cause you know what I'm saying, like struggling. Everybody gonna struggle. Times I think, man, we don't even know, like, back in the day, my spot used to be a gamble spot just to go, so we can go shop and go get some clothes for eggs. At one moment, I used to be little. Y'all know watching them play cards, talking and all that. Then, okay, we can go to the mall because he done came, they done came over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, do that to get some money sometimes. But yeah, like I talk about people like watch out for people hating, watch out for people sneak dissing on you. Don't have people that
Sneak dissing.
bring negative energy on you. Like it's a lot of like that's the pain. We like a lot of fake stuff. You know what I'm saying? I done seen a lot of fake stuff. I done experienced a lot of fake stuff.
So where your pain come from, Kelly? Like if you had. Or do you have any pain?
Of course. I'm a black man in America. I live with pain every day.
Okay. Speak on it, bro.
Yeah,
Speak on it.
Pain just like it depends what you're trying to really get into. You know, your individual pain around you, the outside. You know, what's going on in today's society. Pain, like I feel like I pick up all that stuff relate to me. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff he touched on is relatable. So I feel like every black man is. You know what I'm saying? But like we all get that. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm gonna touch on to like what's I've been feeling, you know, like me I wanna touch on like, you know, depression and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like some people might feel a certain type of way and they don't like how to express that in certain type in their music. So I don't wanna like touch a feeling, someone how they feeling, you know, like in my music so you can feel this type of way so you can listen to my type of music. So like what you going through in life, like if you're going through that, if you're going through money issue, financially, spiritually, you know, physically, what are you going through in that time and period? So pain just like it's all like a feeling moment. Like right now I might be happy, next day I might be sitting out there feeling that. So it depends like feeling, such a pain. You can feel on past pain, present pain, you know, not coming in the future, you know, stuff coming up, you know. But like it depends what you really want to tap into really, if you want to touch on pain. So like it's like a moment for me, like a feeling for me. I can really like tap into my like kind of.
Well, what I would say
I know your pain.
but what I would say about pain, it's like it's something like it take you down, make you feel like not normal, make you not feel like yourself. Like sometimes you might wake up in the morning angry, like I do every time, but I find something to do, which is music. So every time I wake up in the morning, I pray. Like the earliest morning I did, go home while I was riding in the car. But the pain that I'm having right now is like my dad not being there to support me. And I just want him around. But it's a crazy stepmom is acting like a butt. I'm gonna say it like that, but I'm saying it like but it's like her grandkids like they just disrespect me all the time. You blame me for stuff. But I just let it ride because at the end of the day they can read what they show. My mama always said that around me. I always pick that up. Then sometimes I cry some nights, sometimes I don't. But it's the pain that's living inside me just with my dad around. That's it. Like I'm not trying to grow up without him around to see me graduate and walk across the stage and everybody asking me to go do work and we want to come get me, but everybody keep asking me this and that. So basically you're really on high time. And that makes me angry at the other person that's asking me this stuff. But at the same time I can't get mad because he got to work to make money. Then and the other part is my mama upset, crying, this and that. That bothers me really bad. And I'm tired of seeing it. Mama's struggling, she's struggling now. Tired flew off the own thing. She really got no car right now. I'm glad that she trying to get something. Then on top of that, I'm stressing out and trying to help her get a new vehicle. So
You on live right now?
Yeah.
Man, what your mama ain't looking for?
I
told my bitch.
all I'm saying, I'm just trying to help her out. It's,
So let me ask y'all this question. I know y'all got a lot of pain, depression, whatever, you know, the corona and all that stuff that's taking people to a different level. Do you have a diary or a journal that you write in to express some of those feelings that you might be feeling?
yeah,
I said that's my notes, and I write down lyrics.
Like,
That's my job.
like,
Songs.
yeah, I got
You know, you can go through your notes and come up with some songs, bro.
Yeah, that's all
I
I
got some
got.
notes,
Top down.
but sometimes, like, I'm not gonna lie, it makes me angry. Like, when I go live last time, just like a few weeks ago, this dude came up there and said I couldn't rap. People always getting up there disrespecting me. I'm like, bro, do your mama ever teach you how to respect people? They got off and never got on again. Ask me that again. Nope. Really did. I mean, y'all can get mad that I'm trying to do something in life. Y'all not gonna stop me from my dreams. For one thing, I'm gonna get mine. What about you?
Yeah, you look at some real.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I asked y'all this question earlier, off the camera. So I'm gonna ask you the question again on the camera. What is your definition of wealth? We're gonna start with Cali. What's your definition of wealth?
Like I'm touching on what you touched on off the camera. Like, wealthy, we could be using the same terminology, wealthy, physically, spiritually, mentally, financially. Me, like I said before off the camera, I know money, success gonna take care of itself. You put the work in, success gonna come with it. Financially, all that gonna take care of itself. I just want to be like mentally, spiritually, physically wealthy in my mind, so I can keep going and do what I need to do, and do what I love. What brought me into this to begin with? What got me doing this and making music? Because I don't want to lose that passion of making music, get distracted by the chain, the fame, cars, the money, and all that. So I want to be distracted by none of that. So if I stay strong in them areas, I feel like everything else will take care of itself. So right now, this day, I feel like I'm wealthy enough.
Yeah. Like you said, like you just said, you said kind of about being physically, emotionally, and mentally. Like, you really opened my eyes up to that, because like at first I was thinking, oh, wealthy like money, like how you said. And I'd be like, okay, I'm wealthy if I got this much money. I'm saying money. So by you saying that, when I was like, you're right, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be mentally wealthy, I gotta be emotionally wealthy. So I can have, if I do become financially wealthy, I have all that, I'm living a great life then. I got all that in one. But like you said, I can be financially wealthy and be mentally messed up, and then I want to go through suicide and stuff like that. Like how you said, commit suicide. But yeah, like I said, off the camera, I was looking at that like financially, like if I got money, I'm comfortable, and I got to worry about struggling on wealthy. I ain't worried about people struggling on wealthy. But now I'm looking at I make sure my mind is in the right place, my body's in the right place that I need to be, and I need to have my money right. Then I look at it like I'm completely wealthy. Like I can build myself and build my money. That's how I look at it now. So totally.
Well, what I'll say about that is the definition I'm looking for, what I'm say is being successful with money. That's how I look at wealth. That's my definition for it. Being successful in life, trying to make it, and know what other people say about you. Like, they don't matter. Like, people gonna be people. They gonna laugh, joke, be mean. So what? They don't matter me.
So I'm gonna say this, because if you listen long enough, you can hear someone, pretty much expose, themselves. That's why people look real hard when you're playing chess. They look at any sign of, okay, you see, that's it. You have to do that in certain games that you play. And so if you listening, I heard you say twice, You can't care what people say. And I think there's a root to that. And as an artist, remember this, bro. Art is an extension of self. You got your heart. How you spell that? Art. Anything that keeps you alive, and also things that can kill you, it's attached to your heart. Your heart. Your heart. Like, and I can hear it, especially when you started going off and talking about your father and everything. We can hear that. Don't walk too far before you get those things. Don't walk too far out there. Even if you got a record deal and somebody offers you that tomorrow, don't walk too far out there before you start getting those things situated. As in, okay, yeah, I need some therapy. I need to find somebody I can talk to. Because you don't want to get somewhere where your character can't keep you. You don't want to get somewhere where your mind, your heart is not. You don't want to get burned. Like they said, I think it was Eric. He's a motivational speaker. One of the worst feelings is making it to the NBA and having to go back home. When you dreaming, shooting up in the shots, that's one thing. You're out in the gym right now. Making it and having to come back because your character, your mind, you wasn't prepared. That's one of the worst feelings in the world. Having to get back on that bus and be like, damn, I had it. I had everything I wanted. I couldn't keep it.
And that's very profound that you just said that, brother, because I did a video, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I was touching on, are you chasing your dream or your nightmare? It's a fine line between your dream and your nightmare. Because just like my brother here just said, you can be chasing your dream without the knowledge of how to maintain that dream. And it can quickly become a nightmare because you done made it to the league or you done made it to the industry. And the part that I was trying to get y'all to understand about the industry is it's a lot of hidden things that you're not going to see because it's not what's going to attract you to the music business. The fame, the glory, the record deal, the video, the cars, the women, that's attractive, right? Learn how to read a contract. Learn how to dissect legal paperwork because when you sign that contract, it might say that we just taking a chance on you. You can be a best-selling author. You can be a sellout artist and still be broke because of the way the game is set up, the contract. So understand that the game of the music industry. That's why a lot of people go independent, like what he was talking about, because they don't want to be associated with all that puff and fluff that comes along with the little trinkets that get you attracted to something. And once you get there, you're like, this was the worst decision I ever made in my life because now I don't own anything. All my music is owned by somebody else. I can't record what I want to record because I'm owned by this company. I have to put out music that I'm not passionate about. So I'm just out here living a persona. I don't even like these gold teeth in my mouth. They make me put this reel in because it sells an image. And then you like he's saying, you don't have the mental capacity to stay where you are and end up having to say, forget it, I'm going back home because it's not what I thought it was. So are you chasing your dreams or are you chasing your nightmare? Because you'll learn that the higher up you go, it's lonely at the top. Everybody can't do what you're trying to do. People don't have the stamina to do this for 10 years without a deal. And say, I'm going to keep pushing until I get to where I'm at. Then you find it, and they might get there and then they get one hit and they fall one hit wonder. Still take 10 years for a one hit wonder. You know what I'm saying? So all the interviews, all of the shows, the touring, selling out to a crowd of people that, screaming your name and then going to a place that don't even know who you are.
And that would probably be a lot easier than having the people that you know and love portray you. And then you have to make a choice. Do I want to stay or am I going to go? Or whatever the case may be, because having discernment is a skill that must be practiced. Some people say, I have discernment, but if you're never around people, And a lot of introverts have that skill because they may invest themselves in things, you know, like books and everything, so they get an idea of the world through a book. It's like being locked in a dungeon with the dragon, and Princess Fiona was like, yeah, I've read many books on the world, until she got up in it. She was like, oh, well, you know, I got some knowledge, but shit, like this is the world right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in that vein of what I'm trying to get out is I'll say it because I think I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole with it. I'll say it. I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, but
Just know what you're chasing.
yeah.
Just do your homework so that when you are studying and doing what you're doing, you're grinding for a purpose and not just grinding to be tricked or saying that, you know, it is not just in the music industry, it's in almost every area of your life, whether you, like you said, chasing to be in the league, and when you get to the league, you realize that it's more to the league than just playing basketball. You have to have a public relations representative that actually has to do interviews, and whether you want to or not, you become a role model to younger people. You know what I mean? It's the reason why I got you all here, and you all are from different age ranges. You got 20, 21, you got 16, you got 26.
And you can hear it.
You know what I'm saying? You can hear
Who's on the
it.
other side, you can hear he's clearly the youngest. Just by the way he articulates his thoughts. You can hear who's the oldest by the way we articulate. You can feel the energy off of just each and every, and that's just, but I will say, what I was saying I don't want to go, so I'm going to just say this, because I'm going through it currently. Don't kick away the canoes that helped you across those rivers. Don't do that. Don't do it. Because it's lonely at the top, bro. I can't say I attest to it because I don't feel like I'm at the top yet. But I'm at a level I wasn't. Do not kick away those canoes, those boats. Even though you now have a yacht, even though you now have speedboats, don't kick away those canoes that helped you across the river. Don't do that. Because those yachts can be gone just like that. And if you need that canoe, you're going to have to, either you're going to swim, and there's going to be a lot of people, like he was telling me, and like we've had conversations, there's going to be people that will see you drowning, and the help that they'll give you is throwing you a bucket of water. That's the help they're going to give you. And then want to congratulate you if you do make it to the shore. Because you learned how to swim. You knew how to adapt. And we built like that. A lot of us, but some of us buckled. That's why even in slavery, and I'm trying not to go there.
Come on, go down, man. Go down there home.
That's why even in slavery,
I got you.
when we got emancipated, a lot of those brothers that got emancipated and they said, okay, here's your chains, get on, be a free man. They came back to their master because they couldn't wrap their head around that level of liberty. They couldn't do it. So those things, that's why I was telling my mans, those things that are changed to you now, find out a way to break them. Because once you do get that liberty to take care of your moms and be able to take care of these things, you don't want to have to go back to those masters that's here. You don't want that. Because there's still a lot of them. For instance, it's still, to me, it's still a game that is being played with our minds. Back then when a white man called us boy, it was to say, hey, I got victory over your mind. Boy. And that's what they would do a lot. Now, instead of calling us boy, they'll allow us to see so many boyish behaviors via hip-hop, via the media. That's what you got, okay, bro, you don't need to get married, fuck as many of these black women as you need to, which I can understand. But it's still a boyish behavior. Or, let's get away from the women. Or, spend your money. Don't put aside for your legacy. Boyish behavior. They'll promote that. Other than that, so instead of them calling us for, they're like, we still gonna have control over your mind. Because this is what we consume. This is why I listen to classical music. It'll detox you. Have you shitting. It'll get you nice and regulated. You know what I'm saying? But if all you're listening to is the garbage, you can't discern what's the garbage and what's not, even in conversation. That's why when somebody get deep or somebody you hear, because you ain't used to consuming a level of knowledge that'll help you. You so used to getting entertained. You so used to getting fed booty. And a lot of us say we don't eat ass. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Anytime you on Instagram, you laughing. Anytime you on Instagram, and just look at what you can go to your explore page, and we can see. Like you can look at mine right now. You might see a booty or two. You might see, but that's exactly what I eat. You know what I'm saying? From time to time, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a vice of mine. That's a vice. But you gotta also remember, before you cross and before you split her intersection, you still need to look both ways. So there's some paths you gonna walk down that ain't gonna be too pleasant. You get run you get running over, you get hit. But anyway, bro, I'm talking, bro.
No, that's good because you have to understand that you have to have knowledge to know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Giving somebody broke $1 million, how long is it gonna last?
Probably
Why?
because
Because they don't have the education to keep the money or to invest the money in something else. So what he's saying is, educate yourself on the way. One of the rappers that I really admire from a distance is A$AP Rocky. You know what A$AP Rocky is?
Yeah.
A$AP Rocky got a college degree, so he doesn't really need rap. He does rap because that's what he loves. But when I'm listening to A$AP Rocky's lyrics, it sounds like he been to college. He's rapping about things in an intellectual level. I'm like, this dude here is pretty smart. Like he's really intelligent. That's what I listen for when I'm listening to, different rappers. You know what I mean? Is it Lil Baby? Bigger Picture.
Yeah.
I was listening to that song. I used to listen to that song every morning.
Yeah, that's all.
Because he's living his truth. But he also talking to the youngsters about, I did what I did because I had to, but that's not the path that you need to go down. Like, you got to find a better way to do things. The positiveness and what he's in on that song. And like, I don't listen to all his music, but I listen to the ones that, that intrigue me. But the point is, educate yourself now so you'll know how to handle success. You'll know how to handle finances. Because if you're living in a world where all three of y'all said y'all single parent home. Single parent home. Okay. Single parent home. So you trying to survive this industry so you can help take care of your mom. You know what your mom does in your life, and I know most of your stories. I talk to your mom, on a regular basis. And I've talked to you before on something that you overcame. Understand that, like what he was talking about is to be free with nowhere to go. Is that truly freedom? When they emancipated the slave, we talking about, we got a Juneteenth celebration coming up. Juneteenth is June 19th is the end of Black independence, right?
Right.
So on that day, if you don't know the story, go back and research. But when they say y'all go out, get out of here, y'all free, they didn't have any land to cultivate.
They had no education.
They didn't have no education to learn. So they ended up having to come back because they didn't have anywhere to go. So understand that I can give you $200 million right now. Without any education, without any game plan, without any roadmap, where you going? It's gonna be shortly after you're gonna say, I need more money. How could you possibly need more money after this?
So you're gonna splurge it in your hood, in the places you already are. You're trying to take care of people that you here. Instead of you, okay, now I got the money to build. Now I can build homes to be able to put them in and take them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be thinking that way, or maybe you could. Who knows? But they say money don't change. Yes, money will magnify who you are. For one, that's what it does. A greater level of money, because you can either be a bigger bully than what you already are, or you can be a bigger saint than what you already are. Philanthropy, all that other stuff that comes along with you having that level of freedom. That freedom, you know what I'm saying? To be able to say, hey, I don't need it. I don't have to, like, you have to listen to that boss at your job or that manager at your job, because why? At the end, 2 weeks, you need that little paycheck. You didn't need it. Bro, what you said? Go. You know what I'm saying? Go.
Yeah.
That growing level of dependency is somewhat is not somewhat, that is, and this is a lesson that I've learned also this year, is having a high level of dependency and claiming you're a man. Having a high level of dependence, that's on women, that's on any outside entities other than yourself. Having a certain level of dependency, you can't claim manhood. You're not there yet. And being able to say that within yourself, to say that I'm still a boy. I'm still a boy. And saying that to say, you know what? I have a lot to grow in. Not to say, yo, I'm a boy, because you 26, 36, 46, 56, still some boys out here with a high level of dependency. We all know them. You know what I'm saying? But what separates that boy from that man? I don't think men dream. Men have visions. They don't dream. I'm asleep when I'm dreaming. I think being able to wake up and having that vision to still see what I dreamt right there projected, because it's almost like I'm seeing into the future almost. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what separates a dreamer, a boy, and a man is more along that visionary line. Like he's seeing it, and not only is he seeing it, but he's walking in because he's not asleep, so his body isn't still. He's awake, so he's walking. He's fully awake, like he's a visionary. He's walking because what you, man. Anyway, man, let me ask you another question because we talking a lot. Let me ask y'all a question so y'all can get the flow back, man. So. We talking about history, we talking about slavery, we talking about all this. So in the history of hip hop, what are some events that stood out to y'all? In the history of hip hop, let's see if you know the history. Out of all the history that you know of hip hop, what are some events or an event that really stands out to you? You got all the hip hop, or whatever genre if it's R&B or whatever.
But not too long ago, they receiving artists a decade from 2010 to 2020, you know what I mean? He was the best in that field, music, you know, that cause he received artist a decade, you know. Now I look closely to what he was saying, but that's why I picked up on it. You know, I've been through almost throughout his career, you know, as a fan, as a listener, I want to pick on like, okay, we label you as this, the GOAT. We label you as this. How did you make it now? Like, the way he keep going, the way he keep pushing, he's unsure about things. You know what I'm saying? Keep him on. He's unsure about that, he's unsure about that. So that unsureness right there, he keep him like, okay, let's put this out. Let's see how people react to it. Let's see if we going to say this, but when I say this by that, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, by him receiving that award, you know, above everybody in his field, in his industry, he's still taking it as he's still got a lot to learn, a lot to go, a lot to grow in this in music. I said that, damn, that's crazy because we out here calling you a dumb stuff like that, but you still got more to go. And you look at his peers, keep him going, stuff like that. You don't get ridiculous or get like, oh man, I'm just like a guy. The way he moved, the way he cares, so with the song, that's why I pick up more about him other than music, with the way he moves and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just happened like a couple weeks ago. What was the question you said in the song?
In the history of hip hop, you got as far back or whatever genre you find yourself placed in, what's some events or an event that really stands out to you in the history of hip hop? Or whatever you know.
I'm trying to go way back. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm trying to think about the whole, what was it? It was the West Coast versus the East Coast, with Tupac and Suge and all that stuff going on. I'm trying to think that again, but.
And did you follow that stuff? You know the history of that beef?
That's what I'm trying to I kind of do, but I kind of don't. I know a little bit. I just know that it was a big beef and they led to Biggie passing away and stuff like that, right? I don't really know too much about it.
So how do you think like that would be related to today? Is there like a beef?
Yeah. I mean, I can say that, yeah. That really stood out because that still goes on today. Because I really don't feel like, I feel like that couldn't have been, a lot of that couldn't have been today. You know, they could have stepped up and said, hey, we'll be good people, we're not going to take this far, because we just trying to get money too. We all trying to get money. And the point is, that's what this, so niggas somebody dying, And for the reason, probably the reason was really ain't even that big of a deal for the leagues.
You know what they called it in slavery days when they would put a black man and a black man make a fight. You know what they called?
It's like, nah, I don't think that's just real. You said,
I'll let y'all know. They would have names that they would give them, and they would hang them
yeah,
for our entertainment. We don't see who us masters. We don't see which nigga is gonna be the strong. I got a strong one over here. I got a strong one over here. We gonna let them fight. And I put it with bet and all that.
yeah.
So
You see the movie Kyng?
Yeah.
This week, you remember that scene? That's what he's talking about. Huh?
I don't remember.
I don't remember that. Oh,
And what's this called?
Django.
What it's called?
I was like, yeah, I was
What you talking about?
Oh, I said y'all look it up, man. Just I gotta do some research. I can't get y'all.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's a name that they call a black man and a black man, or nigga and a nigga. What they would call them.
Was it called foot buddies?
No.
It's like horse racing.
yeah.
It's a sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's an event.
Yeah.
And you get your horse to race against this person, horse, and whoever horse is the fastest win the trophy, whatever. He's talking about a sport that used to be popular for black slaves to beat each other to death.
Right.
To see who has to. And
Y'all watch football?
Yeah.
Y'all watch college football?
Yeah.
The Cotton Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
The Cotton Bowl?
That's crazy.
What kind of bowl was it?
Alright.
You used to pick what in the field.
Alright.
So all that stuff is modernized
Yeah.
slavery.
In plain sight.
And so when you
Stuff like that. That's crazy.
so let me ask y'all how y'all feel about this, because we was talking I think it might have been I don't know, I was talking to some guys about the concept what he was just saying about the old boy situation. And I feel that, you know, the moment we stop allowing ourselves to be treated as such, then the narrative will change. So, for an example, last year was probably the best year to take back some control in our community as it pertains to the industry, whether it is music, whether it is NFL and NBA. The corona hit, the players had a chance to opt out of the season due to corona, or they could play. And a lot of the NFL players did opt out of that season. People at the NBA, they didn't decide to opt out, they wanted to play. But what would have happened if some of these big name players, LeBron James and all those guys, would say we're not going to play this season because we want to stand for the movement? And what the NFL would have sat down and followed behind Colin Kaepernick? What do you think would have happened with that?
It would have been a lot of chaos. I feel a lot of chaos.
What kind of chaos?
Like, I don't even know how to.
See, you young brothers have an opportunity to be the voice of the people because y'all on that platform, they listening to y'all, right?
I mean, the reason I feel like they decided to play, you know, to continue to have the season, to push the message, you know, just by them playing basketball, you know, we've seen the NBA play.
What message are you pushing?
Is that not me?
That you can be bought at a price?
Yeah, I was trying to, my big names said, big names would, took a seat down, like, took a step back, like, okay, there was that, people up top, the people upstairs that tell me, okay, let's see what we do now to really push this message or really, like, get into it so we can get new names, but that ain't with a price, that ain't with money, you know what I'm saying? They'll try to do all that to keep it through money,
Because if you really understand, like, all right, so for a salary NFL or NBA player, they make what, $20-30 million a year, maybe? How much do you think the owners make?
Really,
And so who wins?
the
The owner or the player?
owners.
Even in the music industry, when they sign a contract for whatever million, how much do the label make? You know what I mean?
Depending on perspective. You know, because if you have to choose between 20 million and minimum wage, or 20 million, and, you know what I'm saying, and you got a family, priorities change.
Yeah, the priority is going to change. But as a people, you ever heard of Black Wall Street?
Yeah.
You know what that is? So y'all brothers, do some research on your culture. Do some research on the cause. Don't just be rapping about changing it if you don't know what you're changing. You know what I mean? Used to be something called Black Wall Street where it was all black-owned businesses, black-owned everything, and our dollar was able to be recycled in our own community, and we didn't have to go outside our community because just like you coming inside the Lions Pride, you got, taxes, credit, U-Haul, everything is out right here inside the community, so you don't have to go down the street. Understand the power in having ownership in what you're doing. Like if you was writing songs, own your masters. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it was a period. You know who Prince is, right? Prince changed his name to a symbol. Why? Because the record label owned his name. He couldn't make money off his name without permission. That's slavery. So he changed his name to a symbol so they couldn't make money off of him. He owned the rights. He started buying his rights, his masters to his songs so he can make money without having to perform for, under that slave name, so to speak. So just do some research on on the cause. So when you actually putting out music, you putting out a message, who do you want, to hear this and how you want it to be heard? You know what I mean? What is your legacy you're trying to leave behind? What's the message overall you're trying to put out so that people can say, oh, I know what Cali stands for. Cali stands for, unity. Cali stands for freedom, things like that. I know what 5 Star stands for. 5 Star stands for, doing things a different way. So when I asked you earlier, like, what's your overall message? Like, what is your music collaboration? It's a common denominator. You know what I mean? If you're from the streets, you'll be talking about streets, right? If you're depressed about your family not doing good, the music gonna come from that place of pain. You know what I mean? If you got some hurt going on from, pain in your life, that's gonna be the message. But what is your message? Like all your songs collaborating together as a whole collection of work. What's the single message in all of them? What's your message? And that's where you start, really coming up with an identity. Are you a peace rapper? Are you a thug? Are you a gangster rapper? Are you a battle rapper? You know what I'm saying? Are you a mumble rapper? You know what I mean? That's what you start coming up with your identity of who you are as an individual and how you want people to view your music. Because I know some people that some era of music you listen to, you already know what you're gonna get. Because this person is that kind of rapper. You know what I mean?
And even if you don't just want to stick with it, that's telling an artist to get in a box. It's kind of offensive. Like, nah, I'm trying to do everything in every way. And you know what I'm saying? You don't want to, but it's more so about art is an extension of self. You keep saying it so it gets ingrained in it. Art is an extension of self. And just to give you another example, so martial artists, they have weapons. Hip-hop has been a weapon since it started. Martial artists, when they grab a weapon, certain martial artists teach that weapon is nothing more than an extension of you. So if you're angry, you tap somebody in the face with a rod and you're angry, they gonna feel that anger on the side of their face. One thing that separated Bruce Lee is he always practiced control. He always practiced calmness. He always practiced a certain watery type of, like, it can be. I know y'all seen that interview. Be water. He practiced that so that way his, no matter what happened, and that's all we're saying, just put more in your mind than what you already. That's given to you. That's given. And a lot of times we take for granted what we didn't have to pay for. We didn't have to pay for our hearts and our minds. It was given to us by the powers that be. We came on this earth. That's why we don't feed it as much as we should. That's why we don't really treat our own hearts and other people's hearts the way we should. Because it was given to us for absolutely nothing. The things that we had to work for, we might take a little bit more care of. I had to work to get this car. I'm going to take a little bit more care. I put more care into this car than I do my own money. I'm bit up in my mind. I cannot drive this mind of mine from A to B, but I drive this car 3 hours to get to this place. But you don't understand what the vehicle to get from where you're trying to go to from where you are is really up here. That's nice. You know what I'm saying? But this is really the vehicle that's gonna take you from point A to point B, C, D, and you know what I'm saying? Get you to meet Drake or get you to whatever. Because some kid may see you one day like, that's my Drake. That's my love. You know what I'm saying? Like they may see you and see that person. Whoever that person looks like to you. Like when you said, like I don't want to work with you, Kyng, like that, you don't know me, but that made me feel great. Like that had me feel something special. You know what I'm saying? That's a special feeling. That same feeling can come your way anytime. And all he's saying is just put them on your mind so that way you have more to talk about. And you can still talk. It's just how you talk about these things will change. That's it. Because imagine if you got this knowledge, you won't just say I fuck with bitch. You'll say something. You'll say it in such a way like when she hold me like incense or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's lit or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll say something so ironic like damn that shit's fire.
We talked about that earlier, right? Get that vocabulary so you don't have to keep repeating the same sentences. Hey.
But you get like
I've been dropping nuggets all day, bro.
So your whole verbiage starts to change. Like talk about Wayne, he was a straight A student. And what was he good at? Making you think. Why? Because he was a thoughtful person. How you know what I'm saying? He wasn't just a leader, he was a gallon. You know what I'm saying? He filled up on what he was. He made sure he topped. He didn't just want to be great. And he came from the same place as y'all. You know what I'm saying? He came from pain. He came from that stuff. But he made sure he was at the top of his class. He made sure he was at the top. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that's all we saying. Just include that. Because that balance is going to be mandatory.
Yeah.
That balance is going to be mandatory. I can't just, you know what I mean?
Hey, that's deep, brother. Hey, man, I'm glad you went down there because I was telling him earlier, like my man right here, my challenge to you is to increase your vocabulary. Like learn how to say the same thing without saying the same thing. Anybody can say, I went to the store. How many different ways can you say you went to the store without actually saying, I went to the store? Reason why I like Eminem can take you 100 different places, and you know this joke talking about going out, and he never said the word street. You know what I mean? Because he studied a dictionary. He studied his craft. You know, he used to get bullied in school, so he wanted to make, how can I beat these bullies up without having to put a hand on them? I'm gonna beat them up with these words, and he's going in, and I hear just beat me up, and you know. Be able to do that same thing in a positive way when you actually are able to influence. And I'm gonna ask you another question. This you know, you can rest on this. You know, you can meditate on it. You got a 6-hour ride back. I want this to be like an ongoing answer. Before you answer, just think about it and meditate on it. The world of hip hop right now, the state of the economy and the state of society right now. You know, we had Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King. You know, we had all these political leaders, Malcolm X. They're dead. They're gone. Now you got a new wave of people coming in. When they're gone, what place or what position or what state are you all planning on leaving the world in when y'all time go? Like what type of message you want to give to the world? What type of legacy you want to leave behind? The young people that's coming up, this is people that are looking at you, and you might be one of them that might be admiring what you got going on. How are you going to leave the world for them to happen? Or how are you going to pass the torch to them? What are you going to do in your life to pass the torch? What does that look like when you're in your 40s? How do you want the youngsters to represent you? You see what I'm saying? When you're in your 50s, how do you want your grandkids to represent hip hop? How do you want your great grandkids to represent R&B? Like, what state do you want to pass it down to the next generation? because the generation before us, you know, you talking about, you know, your parents, you know what I'm saying, they big in R&B and the old school, the Temptations and you know, all those old school people. Now you got the Ushers and the Drakes that's doing it now, representing for the culture. When they retire, what's the next phase? What do hip hop look like after we done? What does it look like? What do you think?
I think that I would pass it down to my family because this is a lot of our family that we rap. So they want to do that. I had other cousins say, I want to be just like you to rap. I said it's going to take more than just being a rapper. You're going to have to sign contracts. You have to do this. You have to you have to write down songs. And then I got one more cousin, he don't be like, he ain't that right, so he always looked at me and I tried to change him. But every time he came to me, before he left the book, she sent him to me so I could talk to him. So I had a little talk to him.
Let me help you out. The one thing I hope to see you on video interviews, man. Let me help you out. Tell me this I love. You gotta take this. You gotta hone in on what's being said. Because when that question was asked, what state are you gonna be hip hop in? You can feel the energy in the room. I'm not trying to stop you, my brother. I'm not. You can continue to answer. But if you go along into your personal, you know when and where that's received the way you need it to be received. And I'm just, because I'm saying when you get to the bigger interviews, imagine you in front of Sway in the morning, or whatever the case. You're going to be on the time set. You're going to be in front of somebody you know. You're going to be in front of somebody who don't care nothing about you for it. They just got you in there because it's going to bring their show some type of publicity. Until they get to know who you are. Then they're going to say, oh, it's cool too. I might need to contact him. But they're going to have to see something in you first. And I'm just telling you, by you being the youngest in the room, this is the opportunity. You like Carmelo going against Floyd. He was 23, had an opportunity. He had a tail whoop, but he learned. And he's a great fighter because of it. You can take this opportunity and you can think I'm whooping you, but I'm not. I'm just trying to help you in this moment. So, just take this in, hone in on the question, answer. That's it, brother.
State. I really don't know which one, but it would be either one. I lost to LA or one which one.
No.
What?
Alright. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What, and even though you laugh, bro. Even though you laugh, no. That's fine. That's fine. This is you right now. You have to focus in on what he said. To say, what are you going to leave? How are you going to leave the state of hip hop when you are home? How would you want to leave?
Let me come back to you.
I feel like saying my 40s, and I look back and say, like, somebody used to listen to me talking about my 40s, I'm not again. I want people to, like, me listening to him made me, like, so that I could be myself in this music. So I could be something. Listening to him made me feel like, well, I don't care what nobody thinks about me. Go do what you want to do. Or go get what you want to be. Go get what you want to get. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to leave behind. Like, my man said, after this music, I want to record on this music. People tell me that he was rap that showed me how to, that taught me how to move my own. That taught me how to make sure you go get money. Make sure you move your time. Make sure you on top of it, on point with stuff. You know, I want to leave that behind. I don't really like, and that's what I feel like that's a legacy behind me. Like, be you. That's my main thing in getting into this.
So what if you is reckless?
Reckless.
No, what if you is reckless? You said be you. So what if I'm me listening to you and you wants me to listen? What if you is reckless? So you like be you.
If you reckless,
be you. Be reckless, my brother. Like what's this help me understand? What I'm saying?
be you in the right way.
Okay.
Don't be you. Don't be a fool. Don't be the fool version of you.
Okay.
Be the smart and wanting to grow version of you, wanting to be bigger than what you are. You, not the you don't want to just keep going downhill.
Yeah, the 5-star version.
Yeah, be the 5-star version.
There you go, man. Come on,
Be
bring
the
it, girl.
5-star version of you.
There you go.
Be the best version of you. Don't be a fool and get going to jail. What you doing? You in jail? You ain't making no money in jail. You locked up. You ain't got nothing going on. You just end up with a whole bunch of other niggas. Go be you. Be out of that. Go make something happen. Go be the dude that. Go ahead. You got the biggest business in America. You got the biggest business international. Like you this, you that, you somewhere where you are the 5-star version of you, like you said.
Yeah. Take that with you, man.
Yeah.
Take that with you.
Don't be no stupid. Like, don't do no always going to jail over nothing or doing stupid stuff. You know it's gonna put you in jail.
I like that.
Yeah.
Be a 5-star version.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's it. That's what I want to leave behind.
There you go.
To me, I feel like you said earlier, it's a question like you can just think about it and you can answer it whenever you feel like you're in a position to answer. Right now, I feel like I'm not in a position to answer that. I'm just not. I don't know. It's more like a moment thing. I'm in my moment right now. You find I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, if you look at me, you feel like you find this cool, you find it interesting, you want to do that. Go ahead. You know, do what you got to do. But like me, I can't really answer. But I will elaborate on the question. Like, you know, I'll be the best version I could be, possible to myself and to others around me. And people out there looking at me, looking up to me, I'll be the best man I can be. That's the only thing I can do. But like, I can't really answer that right now. I'm 20-something. Like, I can't.
Ain't nothing wrong
like
with
I
that,
said, I
bro.
can't really dissect that right now. But
Nothing wrong with that.
whenever I do get to that point, 40, I hope, you know, God and true, I hope I left a beautiful legacy you know, behind so people can follow, people can take stay from and put them in their own legacy and graduate what they really want to do and stuff like that like. But not even got to be music, it could be fashion, starting your own business, food place, anything what you want to do. I'll be thinking what I done accomplished, what I done did. Not even music, we ain't got rap, you can do whatever. I just, the way I handle myself, the way I do what I do, I'll be able to take little things from it and just do what you gotta do and do on your own thing. But yeah, I can't fully answer that question. Right
I got you. You want to answer?
Well, same thing. What he said.
What did he say?
I just pray that I lead a good example for everybody. Like if I would have died today, I hope what I taught people and talk to them about, I hope it really motivated them to do better. Instead of getting locked up or selling drugs or drinking, smoking, stuff like that.
That's fine. I want to challenge all three of y'all to do something. To don't just seek out to be a rapper. If you want to rap, that's fine, but get into music. Get into playing an instrument. Know how to put together the pieces of the puzzle to get to the rap.
That's the one thing I've been saying. Like, instead of just making the music, like rapping, I want to learn how to be my own engineer. I want to learn how to be my own like producer, my own this.
And one thing that made Kyng AshBel on my book top of his class is because he wasn't satisfied with somebody doing his music for him.
Right.
He has music out himself. He wanted to learn how to put the pieces together to engineer his own music so that he can understand when a mistake has been made, he can hear it.
Right.
Learn how to put the pieces together that you're paying somebody else to do.
Exactly what I said.
And that's what I would challenge you all to get into the research of your people first. Who are you? I was watching Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson said he was talking to T-Pain, and he said, "Who are you? Who are you 10,000 years ago? You probably wasn't even black 10,000 years ago. You wasn't even a nigga."
Yeah.
But he wanted to know, if you wasn't Cali, if you wasn't 5-star, who are you? Get into the DNA of where your people come from. Get into who you are as a black man first, then get into the music so you can know where the music comes from. Learn the music, learn the engineering, and then all of a sudden I know how to rap too. I got something to say. You know what I mean? Get into the dynamics of what you're doing. Learn some new words, learn some new terminology, learn some new things So when people listen to you, they gotta rewind it and say, rewind that. What that joker just said? Hit that one more time, man. Rewind that again, bro. He just said something, and you have to make your people really think and come up to your level instead of going down their level. Make them come up to your level. Say something and then say, get them to figure it out.
Right.
What it is, you know what I mean?
Almost there. I am a drummer. Like, I got about 2 drum sets at my dad's house. Or something like that.
So you know how to play instrument.
That's something I wish I knew how to like. I could drum, like play the drums.
I can see she's like, no problem.
I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I used to play this for a long time ago. Play the trombone.
I mean,
Really?
I had a drum set that's a pearl, and I got another one. It starts with a K. I forgot the name of it.
Or what?
It starts with a K. Got a K though. I don't know. Then a Yamaha drum set. So
Oh, okay. The drum set. Start with a K.
yeah, it's one.
Like the brand, like the name of it.
Yeah, the name of the company. It starts like with a K, but it looks like a horn. And I forgot the name of it, but it was like it's in the same thing as the pearl, but it's a different thing. Except the bass drum is like heavier and deeper.
I'm not into. I don't know a whole lot about instruments and the brand names.
Oh, and I play guitar, so.
Yeah. I was actually in a gospel group coming up. My dad was a minister.
What was the name of
It was the Gulf Coast Community
the
Choir.
shoebox?
Matter of fact, you see that record over there on the wall?
Yeah.
That's my dad's record. We recorded that back in 1988, and we had 3 of those records that came out. And so I was part of this gospel group. My dad wanted me to play the bass guitar. He gave it to me at the wrong age. He gave it to me right around that time when I was actually discovering football. And he wanted me to learn to play the bass guitar. And I was more interested in throwing the football than playing ball. I remember he was like, you gotta practice for an hour a day. And I was in a room and I see my boy out there playing ball. I'm like, I don't play football, man. Forget this doggone lessons. You know what I mean? I had been doing it since I was 8 years old. And then I was like 13, 14. Man, I tightened the doggone strings on that guitar, man, real tight. Sorry, it's good. And I ended up popping the strings of the guitar. And he was like, well, that means you don't want to play the guitar. Nah, I don't want to play no guitar, man. I don't play football. Said, why you just tell me? I would have sold this guitar, didn't I? I ain't had a heart to tell my dad that I ain't want to, because they've done it so long. But, so yeah, that's my music. My music background is in, singing and stuff like that, in the choir, groups and stuff like that. I think I let you listen to that song that we did with my dad last year.
Yeah.
Father's Day. And I let y'all listen to it earlier. That's about as deep as it go for me, bro.
Man, you got books, that you not published, spoken word poems.
I got the books and everything I'm working on. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm trying to, that's my contribution, and I still got to go. Probably next weekend we'll get together and put that that song together that he did. And like I said, that was a phenomenal job he did on that song, man. And I just do it every day, trying to get my flow. I got a name for it. It's called I Am. Okay. So we can put that together and welcome you to your world. That's what you do. Yeah. Y'all got any
Yeah, man. We asking y'all questions.
Got some questions, final thoughts, whatever y'all got.
Let me think real on something real quick. What drove y'all to do what y'all are doing? You know what I'm saying? Like how y'all feel like what made us really want to start rapping? Like what made you guys? What set them to stand up? Y'all like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stick to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? What made y'all?
You want to go first? Cause I got a story behind mine. My drive, my grind. Tell me the story, baby.
I'll let you go, cause I think mine's gonna be long.
Shoot, mine might
Too
be
long
long.
stories.
Yeah, alright, so I'll shorten mine. I just loved it, man.
Yeah.
I love music. That's really all it is. And Nipsey gonna say, he was like, yo, if you find yourself going into doing whatever and then you come back to it, going back and learn, it's like you need to entertain that relationship.
Yeah.
because man, it's something there that you can't get away from. So you need to see where it can go. So I just love music. That's all. It's I need it. I need it. You know, no cap.
No cap,
Yeah.
no kissing.
For me, man, business is it's something that was, I ain't gonna say thrust upon me, but when I was a kid, my daddy, you know, instilled this grind inside me. I seen my daddy work a job for 20 plus years and then get hurt on the job, and he had to get workman's comp, and he got a settlement from the job, and he had to resort to working like security job, unarmed security job, just to, you know, make it. But in that process of him like reinventing himself, my daddy went and bought an old antique house full of antiques for like $5,000. And we looking around like, what is he gonna do with this house? It's like a house full of dolls and antiques. And my daddy took that house, paid $5,000 for it, brought everything out the house, brought it to our house, and sold it. Made $15,000 off that stuff, flipping it. Then I saw him, you know, he'll make praline, pecan candy, whatever. He would sell that, make a profit. We had a hurricane come through. He bought a chainsaw. He bought a $300 chainsaw and made like $10,000 with it by going through the neighborhood cutting down trees. So he taught me how to like not be broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have a grind, have something.
Because you don't know what the economy gonna do with the job, you know, and then with the corona shutting down, a lot of people felt the pressure of what I need to do because their job wasn't paying. So what it done for me, man, it took me to a place of all my life. It's a charge over here. Every job that I done had, it's an iPhone, right? Yeah. Every job I done had, I done always had to go from the bottom to the top.
Right.
So this is a story that y'all probably don't know, and you probably would never hear it unless I told it to you. I got the Marine Corps in 03. Went to go work in law enforcement to get some experience in doing that, because you leave one uniform job, you want to get into another uniform job. Ended up working for the sheriff's department, county jail. So I've been an officer in the capacity of, you know, being that person to either let you go or let you come, in that kind of capacity of being in control, being in charge. I was very arrogant when I was youngster. You know what I mean? To the point where I had to be set down. You know what I mean? I was indicted by the federal government for something that was not my fault, had nothing to do with it. And I did 2 years in federal prison. So going from a background of doing things on the up and up, military, law enforcement, now I was on the other side of the fence as an inmate. Had to abide by their rules. I was able to see the world through a different set of lenses as an inmate. And I remember something I had said when I was an officer. Said, if you're in jail, you must have done something wrong. I remember saying that. Only to realize that the justice system is flawed. A lot of people go to prison not because they're guilty, but because they was able to get a deal done or some type of stuff like that. And I remember going on job interviews after I got out of prison. Oh, you the best candidate for the job. Unfortunately, background check says that we're not allowed to hire you. I remember going on an interview about 4 years ago. It was like one of the best interviews I went in my life. The guy got along with me very well. I cracked jokes. I made him feel comfortable. Hands down, the best interview of my life. And he said, I can't hire you because of this. I went in my car and I cried, man. Because I said, here I am as a black man trying to get back to society, trying to get my life back on track. And I can't get back on track because they won't even give me a chance because of a felony that's 10 years old. It was 10 years old at the time. I said, I will never let this situation happen to me again. I will never be denied for another job. I will never let myself be in position of getting at somebody else's mercy. After I start crying, I'm gonna start my business. I don't need a background check to work for me. So I started my business. And that is the grind that keeps me going, knowing that the society might not accept me, but I'm accepting myself. I don't need nobody to come here and tell me nothing about my business. Tell me that I'm not qualified or whatever my background. None of that. So every day I grind, it's because I know that I might not have a acceptance because of a felony. But not to use a felony as an excuse, because you see where you sitting right now. He done witnessed it. When I met him 4 years ago, he knew where I was then. He know where we are now as a company, as an organization, with a felony, being in prison. So no white man ain't held me back. There's no such thing as, oh, they're holding us down. They're not holding you down, brother. You can be whatever you want to be if you change your perspective. Let me see this bottle right here. All right. Is this bottle half empty or half full?
Depends how you look at it.
How you look at it? How you look at it? Half empty or half full?
I say half.
Okay. Half full.
Half full? Half full?
Half empty.
Half empty? Now, why you say half full? Why you say half empty?
Because half of it up, and then it's completely empty.
I'm looking at it as full because I'm taking a bottle as me. Like, if I got that much water inside.
What you think Kyng has been? It's the perspective of him I want to get y'all to understand.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go with him and say half empty.
Why is it half empty to him?
Because he
He just drank all of it. He started from the top. He drank it all the way down to the bottom. So it's half empty to him, right? My man if he ain't had no water all day, what is it gonna be to him? Half full, because he's thirsty. He's no longer thirsty.
Yeah.
So it's half empty. He's thirsty, so it's half full. So bars, nigga.
Nah. That's deep, bro.
Yeah, that's
So-
I see that. It's deep.
Your mentality or the perception of things is what you need to change. Not the world. Change your perspective. Are you going to let the situation keep you down, or are you going to use it as fuel? Because I could have ran and said, you know what, F this. I ain't finna do no more work for these white folks. Blah, 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 blah. Or I'm gonna say, you know what? Thank you for that no that you just gave me, because that was the ultimate drive that got me. You know that the feeling you have when you when somebody make you mad, and your blood start burning and boiling. That's what I felt, and that's what I feel every time somebody tell me no. I want to prove them wrong. So sometimes you need somebody to tell you no.
Right.
Sometimes you need somebody to crap on you, because if your daddy had to stay with you right now through all your life, would you want to be a rapper? Your daddy crapping on you, give you that energy, that motivation to say, let me
Get this out.
get this out of my system, and that anger, that pain, that's what you need to be rapping with to get that to the next level. So understand that we all go through things in life, but it ain't a mistake by God. He has you right where he wants you, because he knows where you need to be to get the best out of you. Right?
Right.
I'm going to say this quote that I heard Deion Sanders say last week on I Am Athlete. He said, be careful who you call role models, because a lot of models out here playing roles. Catch that? You see a role model, you say, I want to be like this guy. You don't know if this guy playing a role or not.
When he being himself.
If he being himself, or if he just playing a role. But be careful who you call role models, because a lot of models out there playing roles. If you can hold on to that, and along with Kyng, because you in this is his world, this music world. He can get you where you can be quicker and faster than somebody like me. I can only put you in the resources and connection with this guy. He can take this thing and take it to that level.
As a kid, AshBel can go do some work in, man.
Look like you ready to start writing now, right? He popping right now what I just said.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Huh? Hey, well look here, man. You can get wrap it up. This is, the platform that we put together for this kind of situation. You all are the youngest men to be on the show, but
I got one more question before we wrap it up.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna shout out too after we get done.
My last question for y'all, for everybody at the lobby that's still going, what would be one message that y'all want to leave with y'all fans for now?
Fans are like
moment, guys.
fans are like anybody, cause like it's a lot of haters out there on these messages too, man.
Well, if you feel more geared towards letting them haters know something, but
stay humble.
Yeah, don't touch on that. A lot of haters. I'm like, let's stay humble.
so whoever you feel geared towards at this moment, what would be the message you want to leave?
To my fans, I'm gonna tell them, I got them. We on the way up. That's what I can be like. Thank y'all for the support. The dude who's my fans, thank y'all for the support. Y'all tune in, y'all wanna come on with me. That's one thing I'm gonna love forever. So, that's what my message. Thank you for everything that y'all doing, supporting me, and being there, listening to me for real, and genuinely like giving me like my pointers and my advice. You know what I'm saying? People that really like telling me, being straight up with it.
I've just not just for my fans, but people in general. I know a lot of people like try to change the world, trying to change, but don't try to change. Just try to do your part within what you can do. Try to make it a better place for you and people around you, and just live by that. Just move how you move, don't let nothing throw you off, knock you off, anything what you trying to do. Just in life in general, anything. Like I said, I know it's like a musical episode, but not just music. I want people to take from this episode, not just learning musical background, just life in general. Y'all touched on a lot of key points that I wasn't aware of, and I thank you for both of y'all for that. Just installing knowledge in my head, but like I don't want people to take from just do your part, and just move how you move, and do what you got to do. And don't try to do anything little lame, all that. Just do what you got to do and move on.
Well, I would say first, I would like to shout out to my mom. I appreciate you for being there for me and helping me through life. I would have never made it this far without my mom. I really would. So I want other people to really appreciate their mothers as well. And motivate yourself. Just, if you believe you can do it, just do it. Just go for what you know. If you got something on your mind that you want to do in life, do it. Don't hesitate. Do it.
What you got for us? The after party.
I'm here, man. I'm just here. I just appreciate the conversation. The gift of camaraderie is something we don't often, cherish. Just to be able to talk, just to be able to sit down, just to be able to have a conversation. Because there are some people in the world that are lacking of that communication. Whether that's with their father, whether that's with people they meet. So being able to say, yeah, I got something from you that I'm hoping you'll take with you forward. That's like Schoolboy Q. He said I had to enrich my sense without no money. And once you gain that enrichment without and right now you guys have been enriched. So now whether you guys realize it or not, you are just a bit wealthier.
And what we talked about wealth earlier. Stop thinking that wealth and stuff and health and it's all dealing with money. It ain't dealing with money. It's dealing with the state of mind that you're in. That some people say that health is wealth. This man is on a journey that he can tell you right now that the money is the last part that comes. If your mentality ain't right and your heart ain't right, like he talking about your heart and all that, your heart, that's where the wealth come in at. Because you got millionaires that's committing suicide because they not healthy or wealthy. They're just rich.
Right.
They don't have no substance behind that. They just got money. So seek after, a positive mentality. Seek after help. You know what I'm saying? As far as in terms of wealth and all the money and stuff, you'll get to all that. You got plenty of time to get the money.
You get the money first. You'll be trying to do things to get the pain out. You'll be trying to fuck the pain away.
Yeah.
Smash as many women in because I'm hurting. I'm gonna just get it out, or I'm gonna try to spend the pain away. I'm gonna try to spend as much money as I can to release this pain. But none of them dollars is you. It's a dead person on you. And ultimately, what you're doing is man. My brother. You've been sitting on the floor the whole time. You don't want to show your face once, man, because you've been supporting these brothers. I don't want to leave you out, bro, because you really, that's support right there,
You gotta say
you ain't had no comfy seat, no nothing. You just, that's support, man. You got to at least.
Sitting on the hard floor, man.
Yeah, man. You've been supporting your brothers, man.
Gang.
And that right there is, that's
SSB,
tremendous, bro.
That's deep, for real.
So, I don't know if you got something you want to, let the people know that you've been. Everybody who don't know, this brother has been really a part of this podcast the whole time.
What's your name, brother?
Shamar.
Shamar.
Money more.
Shamar Money More.
Yeah.
What do you do, brother?
Nothing. Work.
Just work.
Yeah.
Okay. And you came on the trip from Statesboro to here to support your brothers. That's very good. That's very commendable. Having somebody to ride with you. Even though they're not being on the spotlight. A lot of people want to be there, but they want to be on the spotlight. But having somebody to ride with you, man, that's awesome, brother.
I go sit in the studio with them.
Every time we have studio session, he is there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people not here right now. But he with us on a lot of that. For a long time.
Like we brought everybody. It's a room before.
Wow. That's awesome.
I mean, real commitment though.
Yeah.
Not no, like these real brothers.
Yeah. These ain't no like just we just met them. Ever since we started.
Yeah.
Real brothers. No nigga from the room. No nigga.
Solid.
That's good, man. That's what's up.
This kind of stuff inspires me, man. You know what I mean? 'Cause you don't. I don't have many friends, man. The older you get in life, you have to, you move different from people and stuff. And I'm gonna end with this quote. If you are a lion, the road to success may lead you to loneliness because everybody is not equipped to go where you're going. Understand one thing about a lion. You don't have to worry about being invited to all the parties and all the shows because lions and hyenas don't get along.
Right.
So anytime you see somebody on their party and they invite you, just consider that's not my speed because you don't see hyenas partying with lions. If you're a lion, stay a lion.
I remember that.
Remember that. The road to success, like my man tell you, it gets lonely at the top. You gotta know who you are. You gotta stand on your own feet. Don't be moved and shaped and changed by everything you hear and see in the wind blowing. Know who you are and be confident in who you are. Understand? That's the definition of a true man, unshakable, unmoving, and be able to stand on your own 2 feet, like he was saying earlier. You know what I mean? So if you don't take nothing else, take that. You can put that in the bank. That's money, baby. That's money. All right, y'all. That's our show for today. You are Inside the Den with Daniel Lyons and Evans. You got Kyng AshBel here, my co-host. I don't know what we're gonna do next, but we're gonna get some pictures done, and we might. I don't know. It depends on how Kyng AshBel feel. You might hear us on the track sometime later on doing something inside. I don't know. I'm just saying. We all got skills here. We can put something together. But look here, if y'all on here Inside the Den YouTube. Subscribe to the page, like us. I'm on Facebook, Inside the Den. We on Twitch, Inside the Den, and we on Instagram, Inside the Den. Like, subscribe, share, leave comments, whatever, and we will.
Do some shout outs.
Okay, do your shout outs.
Appreciate y'all having us. Inviting us. Shout out to y'all. That's the first and biggest one. Shout out to the city. You know what I'm saying. Shout out my boys, my whole crew, man. You know, next time you see us, we might have everybody with us, you know what I'm saying? You know, shout out all my boys, shout out my boy Tylen, you know, play that time. Shout out my bed, shout out my boy Trinity Cam, shout out my boy Ryan Hendrick, shout out G Huncho, that Freak Home, that Long Little Kato, Long Little OJ, that Long Little Montre, Big LJ, everybody coming over with me, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's my big shout out. Shout out my folks, shout out my family. I got y'all forever.
Thanks. I was like, thank you for the opportunity, man. Shout out to my mama, man. If it wasn't for, I wouldn't be here for real. Love you, mama. Shout out my mom. Shout out my brothers, Jay. You know, Duffy. Shout out Ryan. Shout out Ronnie. I love you, Ronnie. Shout out Chanel. You know, shout out my gang. You know who you are. And shout out to the people who been rocking with me. Not just right now, as a person. You know what I'm saying? With or without me. Love y'all. EA, AZ, Cali, going up.
Yeah. You can go find me on Instagram at #1_5 STARR. And you can find me on Twitter at MoneyManSage.
Yeah. Twitter, Instagram, Cali Bucky. CALIBUCKY.
Gotta slow that down, man.
They gonna see me.
We got projects on the way. So be tuned.
I love our colors.
But shout out to my mama for letting me come today. I want to be here with her. Shout out to my whole family. If y'all watching, I really appreciate y'all. And I might get another couple songs coming out soon. I don't know when, but still, I might drop that day. If it's like
Yeah. I'm trying to say. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, man. Again.
All right, we'll see y'all next week inside the den, 3:30 Saturday. Much love. Peace out.
You know what I'm saying? Peace.